Hello and welcome to This Is Austin. Why have I just dumped my entire life savings into GameStop in 2021?
So essentially what's going on right now is that Reddit and specifically wallstreetbets have completely taken over a single stock, which is GameStop. Now our friends at GameStop have been making lots of stores and have sold lots of this thing called physical games for many years. Clearly an industry that has nothing but glory days ahead of it and many, many mall locations that will be completely busy forever.
Everyone loves going to the mall right now in 2020 and 2021.
And buying physical games, I think, has really got a big future ahead of it. But what has happened here is a complicated mix of stupidity and greed mixed with a little bit of luck. So the short answer here, answer here is that GameStop is a stock that was up until very recently trading for less than $10. So I know like a year ago it was like $4 or something, $4 or $5.
I have the things here in the past 5 years.
What was it at like 6 months ago? Because I know it's come up a little bit, but I just want to set the context.
6 months, it was $13.
Okay, so we're looking at a stock that's between, I'd say, $5 to $15 or so, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, the stock price is not the be-all, end-all of a company most of the time, but that's fine, right?
Yeah.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, there were some changes that happened, right? So there were some changes on the board, there was some new investment, and generally speaking, that helped to rise the price of GameStop a little bit.
I have a fun little story about that.
Okay, go for it.
I forgot the guy's name, so sorry, board member whose name I forgot. The guy who started Chewy.com.
Okay. Right, of
the
course.
website that sells dog supply, like pet supplies at home. He, when the stock price was pretty low, bought up a bunch of stock in GameStop.
Yeah.
Made him not a majority shareholder by any stretch.
Like 12%, I believe.
Something like that, 10, 12%, something like that. But it gave him enough stock to have a voice to the rest of the board of directors, and he basically wrote them a letter, and I'm paraphrasing, which is like, hey, you guys are doing a really shitty job. You should fix this. And so what GameStop did then is made him part of the board of directors. And immediately is when they actually started to
redo the board in a big way. So there's a lot here, right? There's a lot here. But the sort of gist of it is this. GameStop is a company that is not in great shape and that might have some life left, but it's certainly not a stock or a company which is worth anywhere near what it is worth right now. But what happens on Wall Street is that there are a number of short sellers. This is essentially people who bet against a company. Now, this is a good thing, unlike what everyone on Reddit will tell you, because generally speaking, short sellers do a lot of research to find out what is wrong with a company, and they will make big bets that a stock will go down, and oftentimes, the fact that short sellers will make a big announcement like this will actually make the stock go down. This is a healthy part of the market.
Let me give you some real-world context, and by real world, I mean video game context, because that's all you guys understand. The Lester missions in Grand Theft Auto, the whole thing is about shorting stock market. Granted, it's by murdering people and causing the stock to plummet, but same thing. No one's murdered anyone yet. That's a bad analogy.
Yeah, actually, I feel like can we?
This is running away from me. FTC, I'm not indicate. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so our friend Matt here has purchased some GameStop stock because bandwagons are fun.
Yes.
And
I love that you say that, the short sellers do a lot of research.
They do.
And I've done zero research.
No, okay, but hang on. We're not telling the full story here, right? No. Because there's a very important piece of context missing here, right? So a lot of short sellers have shorted many stocks that you would traditionally are well known, but are not in good industries. Think AMC, think BlackBerry, think GameStop, right? These are all stocks that, I mean, look, if you have a couple brain cells to rub together, probably not like the strongest companies in the world. Like it's not really doesn't take a brain scientist or a rocket engineer to find out. Yes, I know, that's what I said. We're just gonna move on from that. However, Wall Street Bets is a very popular subreddit, not a chat room like all the cable news channels keep saying over and over and over again.
Is there a difference?
Yes, I think Reddit is very different than a chat room.
Looking at how frequently this subreddit is updating, it's a chat room at this point.
Okay. Wall Street Bets is a very well-known subreddit. And honestly, it's a really entertaining place, especially when you look at some of the stories that have come out of it. I mean, you think with the advent of apps such as Robinhood, which will allow you to buy and sell stock essentially without having to pay any kind of like transaction fees, have to go to a broker, have to have giant piles of money. It has opened up a lot of very interesting things that have happened. Now, when you look at GameStop, which as of recording this video is currently at $300 a share.
$314.
Yesterday, it was at like 90, and a couple days before that, it was like 30, 40 bucks.
When we discussed shooting this video, it was at $40. And we're like, man, that'd be crazy. We had done a video on, we bought all the consoles at GameStop.
Yes.
And so we're like, well, how can we flip that around? And basically said, okay, well, what if we had bought, instead of buying all these consoles from GameStop, what if we had bought the equivalent amount of money in stock?
So for reference, this was a video a little over a year ago on the main channel where I went in, I purchased every GameStop console, and then I turned around and traded it back in and watched money literally disappear into thin air.
Literally burning money at that point.
Yes. But yes, if we would have taken that same amount of money and instead invested it into GameStop stock, we would, I mean, I don't even know
when we were talking about it, we were specifically just using a PS4 Pro just because it was easy math. It was like $10,000 or something like that.
Stupid.
It like what we paid for if we had invested in stock there. Now
it's basically up like 100 times or close to that since we shot that video.
If we had kept that stock, we would have had 100 grand or something worth of stuff. It's crazy how fast this is.
But the thing is, okay, so there are a couple of things that are actually really important to understand, right? The stock price of a company, especially in recent times, is no longer really attached to the value of the company. No one, even people on Reddit, do not believe that GameStop is worth how many billions is their market cap now? Like it's obscene.
I haven't opened it. I'm just watching it because
it's just going up and down like nonstop.
It's 20 billion market cap. Well, 20.7 billion market cap.
That is actually just ridiculous. Look at Tesla stock.
Yes.
Tesla stock is currently not only one of the biggest gainers over the last sort of 12 months, but you look at how Tesla is currently valued at more than like essentially every other automaker combined. Look, I'll say Tesla's a cool company. They make good stuff and they should be valuable. But I don't think you can say a company that sells like 200,000 cars a year is more valuable than every other car company on the face of the planet combined, right? Yeah. So this is not just a pure like, hey, Reddit, they're memeing and ha ha ha, hilarious, hodl, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not what this is entirely about, because I think there's a fundamental mismatch. And yes, here we go. Financial advice from a dude wearing a Gengar hoodie. I'm sure you're happy you subscribed and rang-a-lang the dang-a-lang bell on this one. But like, there's a fundamental mismatch on the way that the stock market is working right now. It is way closer to a betting market than anything else. You look at the crypto market, which look, I'll admit, I own some crypto. I love some crypto. I also own Pokemon cards, so you can take with that what you will. But like, I think there's a fundamental mismatch right now when a bunch of special snowflakes on Reddit. Well, I don't know how to describe this in a better way. I'm not going to say that. I would like to be monetized. There's a difference when a bunch of people on Reddit can jump on a stock like this, right? And pump it. If you've watched the Wolf of Wall Street movie, which you should because it's an amazing movie, it's not that different, except this is just a way dumber version of it.
So at this point, it's less about stock market, and you see that from all these analysts who's like, there's no precedence behind this, because it's really more like sports betting.
Yeah.
So people basically saying, I'm betting that it's going to hit 300, 400, 500 today. And that's what they're actually betting on. And then they're going to pull their stock out at the end of the day.
Or their option or whatever they're actually purchasing. Right. Yeah.
And they're not going to have it in there. Normally with stocks, you kind of have it, you hold on to it for a little while. Yeah. It's an investment. These are not investments. These are quite literally get rich quick.
These are Wall Street bets,
yes.
Right? I get that, of course, everyone on Reddit is having a good time, right? And there are a lot of these sort of like hedge funds and these short sellers that are losing like millions, and like in some cases, I know that one of the hedge funds had lost like over $1 billion and needed like a bailout or something, and like everyone on Reddit's cheering, and like, look, no one likes a killjoy. No one likes someone who's going to come in, everyone's making money, and they come in and say, hey, you know what? This stock sucks. It's going to tank. We're going to bet against it. And then people lose money, right? But I do believe that is a fundamentally important part of how the stock market works.
Yep.
It can't just be everyone buying all the time, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, what happened? The bubble just burst, and I'm currently falling down to earth. Like, there does need to be some kind of correction here.
Which will happen, by the way.
And the thing is, like, some of the short sellers, like the Andrew dude, who has been completely vilified, and he keeps like getting doxxed and everything. No one is gonna say that's a good idea, right? A bunch of like that's obviously too much. But I'm just gonna say this right now, for the record. If Reddit causes the next global financial meltdown, I'm gonna be mad. We're clearly not a financial advice channel.
No.
And you should not listen to us for any financial advice.
He invests in Pokemon cards, and that's his actual retirement.
That is not entire. That's part of my retirement plan.
Though I do have my Pokemon cards in safe.
You do too. See, it's important, right? But I think what's really interesting about this is that, of course, GameStop is a company that you and I and all of us are probably very familiar with, and it's a company that I actually do appreciate. I like to be able to go down and buy a video game. But this is not about GameStop, right? This is something that is much bigger, and it is so much more complicated when you have all of these options being thrown around. You have the short sellers, you have the Redditors, you have lots of average people who are just jumping on the bandwagon when you see these crazy returns. This is not the way that things usually go. And in fact, I think actually, was it the SEC who had put out a statement this morning saying, hey, knock it off, or we're gonna do something.
They'll supposedly lock stocks, they'll halt trading.
Well, you're not supposed, like, look, this is Wolf of Wall Street. I'm just saying, this is the plot of Wolf of Wall Street, except really just stupid. So here's the thing. When you look at what's happening with GameStop right now, it is, I would say, ridiculous, I think would be the way I would describe it.
No other way to describe it.
But like, this is gonna continue to happen, right? Because it's one thing if you're you're Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street and you're getting arrested off your yacht because you clearly got caught. It's a different thing when thousands and thousands of individual people on Reddit decide to go buy something. How do you stop that from happening, right? It's really turned the stock market, and this was already happening, but it's really sort of accelerated it. It's turning the stock market into a betting market, which, I mean, look, is that different?
It always was.
But like now it's like to a ridiculous degree. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop and something to get shut down or something to, there's no way that this is just gonna continue. I feel like there's way too many actual Wall Street types who are not gonna appreciate this going down. But thank you very much for watching this episode of This Is. Again, I will just give another disclaimer. Please don't listen to any of our ramblings for any kind of financial advice. And if you do invest your life savings in GameStop, don't call us when it crashes and burns or turns up another 400 billion% or whatever. I don't even wanna guess it at this point. Make sure to subscribe though. I'm sure this will not be the last video we do all about these shenanigans.
This is gonna be my last video because I'm gonna be a billionaire.
Don't listen to him. Please don't. Please don't.